how do you improve the way that you show up as a leader, especially in the midst of such turbulent times as we find ourselves in today? Now, as always, with this element of the broadcast, I'm just going to reflect on what I'm doing to improve my leadership. This is largely based on experience and the collection of guides that I surround myself with, in the books and the podcasters and the YouTubers that I consume whenever I have a free moment, which is rarely these days. But look, I mean, if I just look at the last week, what I've done to improve how I show up as a leader really comes down to two things. It's be hyper reliant on my values and this leadership philosophy that I spoke about last week, and there's a lot more on YouTube from the previous weeks dissecting that and breaking that down. But values as that really sort of absolutely integral core of a leadership philosophy. So many conversations I had in the last 7 days have really come back to, if we're going to make a decision to do this, well, that better reflects our values. There was one conversation in particular I had with our CCO at 4i about a really tricky situation that we're trying to navigate at the moment internally. And a lot of businesses are making extremely tough calls on an almost hourly basis at the moment. And I said to Kate, it was very simple. If we're going to do that, it's because care and commitment are two of our most significant values. And her reflection back to me was, that's exactly right. And if the people that impacts receive that and they feel that, then that will deepen the connection that they have with us, with 4i. So I would really encourage you, if you have not yet defined what your leaders are, do that. What your values are as a leader. And if you have the time to spend a little bit more, sort of brain power constructing, sort of a philosophical system around those values based on purpose, mission, and how you approach the world as a leader, then you really can, just sort of have that as your anchor, as your fulcrum, and all these pivots that you're having to make on a daily basis. Those pivots can be around a significant and consistent marker, your value system. So the other one then is self-awareness, and having the self-awareness just to sort of stop, ground yourself again with those values. But I have a tendency to move really quickly and sort of think a way ahead, which makes me sort of believe that I can sort of progress rapidly because I have a degree of certainty over what the outcome will be and the foresight to give me that. That might be completely wrong, but it's a belief nonetheless. But now more than ever, where that sort of landscape ahead is difficult to penetrate, it's hard to see through. It's important to stop, even momentarily, pause, have self-awareness of where you're at, of who you are as a leader, of what you're doing, of who you want to be, and why you're doing it. Just hold yourself there for a minute. Remind yourself of those values. Then make your decision. So that's what I've been doing the last week. Where I stand today, looking back, I'm very glad that that's what I've been doing, and I think the decisions that I've been making will be much more beneficial for my customers and impactful in the world as a result of that. So that might be helpful for you. If it is, please give it a try. And as always, I look forward to hearing what you might think. See you tomorrow to share some experiences from my sort of interactions last week with 4i's clients and what they've helped me learn about how they're showing up as leaders.